Hi, and a very good evening to all of you. It's a great pleasure to be here in front of you all, and we will be talking and discussing about NIFT aspirants. Now, I would like to bring this to your very kind knowledge that NIFT is an amazing um, university, I would say, and then I would say it has got amazing courses and it has got amazing faculties. So faculty is the most important thing. Aging of the institute is another very important thing, and NIFT have got both of them. you know NIFT is a university in itself, and you must realize that going and cracking NIFT is a big deal. It's not that easy where you feel that anybody can just go and crack this kind of an examination. It is important for all of us to understand that NIFT is all about the kind of attitude and aptitude you have towards your subject. When I say that, I very strongly mean that it's not something that can simply happen through your books. It's very important that you understand this, that it is a lifestyle, it is a character, it is a system in which you will have to evolve yourself. And the course, the curriculum is such that it is not going to talk to you about uh, things like a question of mathematics where each problem or a question have a similar kind of an answer. No, it's never going to happen like that. In NIFT, every question, every task will have a different outcome. So it's like something which is diametrically opposite to your science and mathematics. So when a question is being asked to you that how much is 2 plus 2, the answer has to be 4. Anything other than this probably is not the correct answer. However, if I ask you as an NIFT aspirant or somebody who's actually doing this course, where I tell you that you need to design a dress or a costume for somebody who stays in Rajasthan, except for that basic concept of the dress, I think each candidate is going to do something which is going to be different. No two designs are going to be similar. When I say that, it basically means that answer of each candidate is different. It is not the same. You must realize that design is all about the kind of psychology you have, your upbringing, the environment in which you've been brought up, the culture in which you've been brought up makes a lot of difference when you talk about anything which has to do with the design, with the subject design. Now, why am I talking of NIFT as an aspirant? Is that it's not a rocket science. It's not that difficult. It is the kind of observation that you are developing for yourself on a day-to-day basis, which basically means that today, if I have to talk about something that I visualize at railway station, or maybe something that I realize at something that I see at bus stand, or maybe at a fashion store, or maybe at a fashion show, and there is a question tomorrow in the examination that I have to design or depict a scene from a fashion show. I should be able to visualize it. I should be able to put things in memory, and then I have to be very cautious about the fact that what can I really put down on a piece of paper, because ultimately I'll have to express it in black and white. So when I do that, it is important that I should be able to draw it well so that I can communicate it very well to the candidates. But at the same time, I need to understand that it has to have a character, it has to have good scale and proportion, it has to have something which is going to make it extraordinary. This could be even your strong imagination. So and then the kind of view that you're talking about, which means that are you really sitting and drawing a view from the audience, or let's say we give you a position where, let's say you are a cameraman, your view becomes different. Or let's say you are, you are in a drone and you're flying something on a little higher than the visual angle. So you start visualizing things accordingly. But it is important for you to understand how to draw the perspective. So now there are two things that unfold basically. One is the imagination that you have in your mind, and the second thing is the technique of drawing perspective. Now, there are three kind of perspectives that we generally talk about. One is 1 point perspective, 2 point perspective, and 3 point perspective. So you need to understand what sort of perspective you can really draw. If you are interested, then we do a special session on this. So you can write this on the note, and then you can tell us that if that's something that you require, we would love to do a session on that as well, and which is there in the pipeline. But if you demand for that early, I can definitely do that before the time. Now, when you do that, it is important that for you to understand that every question needs a different approach, and there are various elements that are working together. So when I'm talking in terms of let's say a sketch from auditorium, so I have audience, I have chair, I have a viewing angle, I have a stage, I have a stage backdrop, I have the lighting effect, I have the shadow effect, I have the ambience, or the things that are going to be on the wall, the acoustic systems, speakers, screen, a person right at the back who's actually visualizing everything in terms of what kind of light to be thrown, when it is to be cut off, when it is to be played. So there are so many things which are there. Now you have to pick up all of these are very few things that I'm mentioning. When I talk of this particular thing in detail, I can talk about more than maybe 50-60 points, and out of the 50-60 points, you have to pick something which is very, very informative for you, and something that you can draw. I'm talking of specifically NIFT creative ability test, which you have certain number of questions which you have to do in a stipulated time. So for each question, you have to be very clear that this is the only amount of time that you can give to each question. So for that, you need to practice few things which can really do things which are much faster than others. And then once you do a rough sketch, you can then develop it, you can you can detail it out. And then once you do that, you are in a much better position than others, because others are thinking, then they have a challenge in drawing, and then they have the challenge in putting it on a piece of paper, because on a piece of paper you need to know exactly what is to be highlighted, what is not to be highlighted, what is to be kept on the right and onto the left, because you ultimately have to score. And in order to get the scoring, you need to be very clear with the fact that you have to have more number of elements which are relevant to your topic. So if you're able to do that, it's wonderful. So in my next talk, I'm going to talk about lamps. So we are going to talk about types of lamps, where these lamps can be used, how they can be used, if it's a small lamp, if it's a table lamp, if it's a floor lamp. We've done a lot of categories in that. So it will of course enhance your knowledge, but secondly, it'll tell you where to place. If it's an officer's table, how are lamps to be placed. If it's a lounge, how it is to be placed, what type of lamp it is to be placed. And every week we are going to pick up one element and discuss this, which is important for NIFT entrance exam. So I would request you to follow us in terms of the series that we are coming up with. It's going to be very, very beneficial for you, and you are most welcome to write down the questions, as well as you need to tell us what sort of topics you are interested in. You can even shoot up your questions. I'm live on YouTube, I'm live on Insta, I'm live on Facebook, on my page and on my channel respectively. So if you have any question, please drop in. I'll be more than happy to answer that. Otherwise, I'll be live tomorrow in my second session. I know it's a Rakhi tomorrow, but then still I'll be live for you all, and then I'll be happy to answer the questions and the queries that you're going to put up. So with that, I would like to take your leave. Thank you very much. It's been a wonderful session. If you have any question, please put up. Otherwise, You can catch me up tomorrow somewhere around 12 in the afternoon, and from there we take it up. All right, thank you, everybody. It's been great talking to you all, and I wish you all have a great day ahead. Thank you very much.